All right. This question is amazing. So, how to know if you're overtraining? So, I'm just going to go through my signals here. There are some pretty standard things. Like if you just like Google overtraining, you probably get a lot of the same type of kind of like generic broad answers. I found that uh, they can manifest differently to other athletes in terms of my own experience and my experience with relationships with high level athletes and with athletes that I coach. That this, there are a couple things that you can see. Some things might be inverse, right? So it's hard to like read. It's like, so if you like Google, it's like you don't sleep well, or you're sleep, or you're like overly tired, or your appetite goes down, your appetite goes up, like your heart rate goes down, your heart rate goes up. So it's different for each person, but really it's about knowing when there is a deviation from the norm. And that could be any one of those things. So the markers that I really do pay attention to when I'm doing this are heart rate during exercise, heart rate during sleep. HRV I do look at as well. Like the numbers like just like are kind of wonky, but they can be consistent. And I think it can tell a story of like my HRV will be higher on days after rest days and lower on stressful days. So like it's a good marker and through any type of wearable. Then it could be things like appetite. For me, sex drive is something, and I think this is something for men in particular. At least that's all I can speak to. Is having like what your libido kind of feels like, and if it's swinging low, and like that's something that you need to kind of consistently be aware of because you're like, oh, like am I feeling different? Like when I'm feeling like good, like as is there a different kind of feeling there? So there's like a hormonal balance. The hormonal balance could be doesn't need to be sex specific, but how it manifests is like I can only speak to the dudes, but that is something else to really pay attention to is like how you're feeling, how your hormone, like the feeling that your hormones give you, and if there is a change in that feeling. A big signal for me personally is my heart rate during training. It will be lower. This was something for a while, and not that long ago, maybe just like 2-3 years ago, maybe even less, maybe even last year. I think I was not quite aware that this was a signal for me, and I've been doing this for forever. And I thought that a lower heart rate at a fast pace was a sign of improved fitness, but it's actually the opposite for me.